Hey, what's up, guys? Prodigy here. So today's video, I just want to go over Update 32. It was released like about a week ago on PC, guys. A week left until us console guys get it. And I just want to go over some tidbits of information that are, I believe, vital to PvP. You know, some set nerfs, class buffs, changing the meta, all that jazz. All right. And like I said, forgive the quality, but I am doing this all from my phone. Okay. So cut me some slack here. Alright, let's get started. So the first thing is Iron Flash, guys. When this originally dropped, it was supposed to be when you drank a potion, you get 10 or 12% damage mitigation. They changed it till about around 8,000 armor. Alright? That's crazy. I was looking forward to that set. Oh well. Next, we're going to talk about bash changes, guys. This has a cooldown of 333 milliseconds, down from 350 milliseconds. Casts up to 3 times per second. Reduce the cost from 1889 to 765. It now scales with a mixture of your physical and spell resistance. Reduce the cooldown after activating Bash, preventing you from casting other abilities. I mean, Jesus, guys, they're really buffing Bash here. Alright? And guys, if I missed anything, you can go to the website and view it for yourself. Alright, so next we have Ardent Flame. Increase the resources granted from 500 to 1,000, up from 250 and 500. Add a cooldown. Separately tracked. Inferno, the ability, and the Cauterized Morph now both grant Major Prophecy and Savagery. Nice. Okay. Flames of Oblivion. Now it's 3 balls instead of 2. Lava Whip. It scales your highest defensive stats, so it could be used as a stamina whip. Flame Lash. Fix an issue where the morph did not apply off balance to targets who are immobilized, but not already off balance. Okay. Override ability Power Lash now heals immediately instead of over 2 seconds. And was reduced by approximately 43%. However, Power Lash no longer has a 3-second cooldown. Molten Whip, let's see, Seething Fury now lasts 10 seconds per stack, up from 5 seconds, and help it feel less stressful. Okay, World and Ruin, the passive now increases your damage done with flame and poison attacks by 2 and 5%, rather than increasing your damage area of effect flame attacks by 3 and 6%. Okay. Ash Cloud, the ability in its morphs now costs 378 magic every second instead of upfront cost of 560. Damn. These abilities now tick 15 times over the duration, down from 16. Abilities now last 15 seconds at base rather than 12. These Ks are getting a huge buff, guys. Your abilities rank up 1.1 healing and damage per rank rather than 1 second. Eruption. Hit damage now has a 10-second cooldown to prevent it being a incredibly low-costing AoE spammable. That's smart. Battle Roar, the passive now restores 25-50 health, magic, and stamina per ultimate consumed. Gravelord Necromancer, Boneyard increases damage disability and its morphs by 10% per tick, since they tick 10 times instead of 11 after the change. Frozen Colossus, fix an issue where it can hit targets outside of line of sight. Nightblade Assassin, Grim Focus, ability its morph now grants 60 weapon and spell damage per stack rather than 2% critical and healing per stack. Summon Shade, the initial cast that summons a shade can no longer be cast while in the air. The special activate to teleport to your shade can still be cast in the air. Malevolent Offering, this ability and its morphs now have an upfront magicka cost of 3510 and a residual health cost of 1080 over 3 seconds. Okay. Rather than a health cost. Okay, rather than a health cost based on a mixture of your spell damage and max magicka. Abilities can now target yourself and allies rather than only allies, so Burst Shield for mag blades. Reword the tooltip for these skills now with 100% more edge factor to help you get the blood dripping when using this skill. Alright, Shrewd Warp Offering. This ability now ranks up in cost reduction rather than 1.1% healing done in the base cost has been reduced to 3240. The residual health cost also lasts 1 second, has causing it to drain less health to ensure its total cost reduce the expected level. Pain's Refuge, a star now reduces your damage taken by 2% for every 2 negative effects on you, rather than 1% per negative effect. Cap stills 20. Shield Master, fix an issue where this node did not apply to Sun Shield or Crystallized Shield. Cutting defense, damage from this node can now proc weapon enchantments, poisons, in efforts to help make it more enticing to tanks. Okay. Sets that grant weapon and spell damage now grant both. This is the hybrid stuff, guys. Sets that grant physical and spell penetration now grant both. Sets that grant weapon and spell critical now grant both. Item sets that scale off weapon, spell damage, max magic, max stamp can now grant critically strike. This is a huge change, guys. Alright, item sets that scale in order of magnitude are based on additional modifiers such as Relic or Zon will not critically strike. Many of these sets have received adjustments to their power as well. Lower the sets that can critically strike and have their scaling values reduced by approximately 5%. Now, I'm not going over them individually, I'm just going over the ones that have other changes done to them. Like I said, you can go back and read if you want on their website. Frenzied Momentum, reduced the damage by approximately 28%, now stacks up 30 weapon and spell damage up 10 times rather than 38, up to 5 times. So it got a buff in the weapon and spell damage, but the explosion got nerfed. Merciless Charge reduces the damage by less than 1% per tick and now ticks over 7 seconds instead of 5. That's a change. Nice. Next, Clairon's Legacy. This set now also only procs off light and heavy attacks instead of any single target direct damage. See guys, now this is going to proc off light and heavy attacks. Oh my god, dude. Everyone's going to be running this. Spawn of Mephala is changing. Increase the damage by approximately 10% per tick. This set no longer snares enemies. Alright, Stormfist. The damage from this set no longer bypasses spell resistance on the final hit. Veladreth reduced the damage by approximately 21%. Venomous Smite. This set now has a 2-second delay before dealing damage rather than none, while increasing the damage per tick to ensure it meets its new intended value. Nice, alright. Venomous Smite changed. Amalexia's Mercy increases the healing by approximately 17% per tick. Wow! It looks like they're trying to buff this so people use it again. Galarian's Revenge reduced the damage by less than 1%. Stack cooldown is now 0.5 seconds instead of 1 second to meet standards. Next, Kind's Kiss. This heal now scales off your max magicka or stamina, whichever is higher than a flat value. The stamina restore is still based on the item level. This is the changes to proc, guys, right here. Item sets that deal a burst of damage in 4 seconds or less now have a 1 second window after proccing that prevents similar items from activating. Item sets that have innate counterplay such as delays, minimum travel times, telegraphs, have 1 second or no cooldown are exempt from this adjustment. If wearing multiples of these sets at once, any action that would activate multiple sets will instead trigger the first set you equipped and suppress others for 1 second. After the second passes, you will be able to attempt to trigger them again. Deadlands Assassin. The damage over time now has a 2-second delay, up from 1 second. As far as scales, fix an issue where this set's damage tooltip was displayed as a name different than the set. Consumables fix an issue where some poisons would not be consumed or respect their cooldown. Item traits charged. Increase the potency of this trait to 480 up from 220. Currently, this trait is being engaged mainly with Dragonites trying to get as much situation as they can, or sustain as they can. We'd like the trait to be a bit more one note wonder. Okay. Chaotic Whirlwind. It now grants a stack of Chaotic Whirlwind for 5 seconds after casting Whirlwind while in combat, granting 5% movement speed per stack, and increase your weapon spell by 6 for every 1% bonus movement speed you have up to a cap of 450. This effect stacks 5 times. Reaching 5 stacks, duration doubles but cannot be refreshed. Okay. Concentrated Force. This set now requires successive casting of Force Shock within 5 seconds of each other, up from 2, to allow more breathing room. Assassin's Guile. Fix an issue where minor heroism granted by poisons was not properly buffed by this set. Mechanical Acuity. This now grants a stack of Acuity for 4 seconds whenever you deal non-critical damage, granting you 20% critical chance per stack, up to 1 every half second. After this, the effect ends or reaches 5 stacks. It cannot again occur for 25 seconds. Way of the Arena. The 5-piece bonus from the set now also grants 160 weapon and spell damage. Elemental Succession. This set now grants its bonuses randomly per element when you deal any source of flame, frost, or shock damage, rather than firing each bonus independently. Mighty Glacier. Fixed an issue where this set was not proccing potions or poisons. Moonhunter. Fixed an issue where this set could stack itself in some situations. Parabellum. This set now grants you a damage shield for 6 seconds when you deal damage with a 6-second cooldown, rather than a damage shield passes every 15 seconds. Increases shield size to 8412, up from 710. Thundercaller. Fix an issue where the set's damage is considered melee rather than ranged. Updated monster sets, correct terminology for their weights. Damihos. The set now fires both flame and physical damage rings at the same time at half the original damage and grants weapon and spell damage while standing inside still. Okay. Here it is. Dark Convergence. Reduce the set's damage by 59%, but increase the scaling per target from 50 up from 10. Reduce the radius to 10 from 12. The set now pulls once after its delay rather than twice over the duration. The pull now all nearby targets rather than 6. The set now has new visual effects, and fixed an issue where the set could hit targets outside of its line of sight or pull them from areas they should not have been. Deadly Strikes. Reduce the set's damage done 15 down from 18. Hrothgar, fix an issue where the set could proc off other sets that apply stuns or immobilizes. Fix an issue where the set was following its listed proc requirements and applying its situations it should not have been. Morag Tong, fix an issue where the set did not proc off some attacks such as Acid Spray. Next, Plague Break. Set now has a 2-second delay before it starts dealing damage and ticks every 2 seconds rather than every second. Increase the damage by tick by approximately 82%, resulting in an approximate 18% loss in damage. Reduce the damage of the explosion by 52%, but increase the scaling to 50% up from 10. Now it properly fizzes its explosion when the target dies under the effects. Thews the Harbinger, fix an issue where the set could proc off other procs. And the last one, Wrath of the Imperium. This set now grants 129 weapon and spell damage for its 2-piece and 325 weapon and spell damage to range direct damage attacks for its 3-piece rather than 657 spell critical and 1829 spell critical for those attacks. Alright guys, that's the end of all the things I thought were important with Update 32 and the notes on it. Like I said, we got one more week for console, so I just want to give you guys a heads up on some of these things, some class buffs and set nerfs. Alright guys, I'll see you next time. Peace out.